Hi guys, welcome to the Urban Palette Kitchen. I'm Chef Marcee, and this is my recipe for seasoned green beans with citrus mojito crispy potatoes. I pre-boiled my red potatoes and I cooled them down in an ice bath, and once I did that, I cut them into quarters. When I cut them into quarters, I seasoned them with my citrus mojito blend. I make sure that they're all apart, and then next I dust them with my flour mixture, and I left the recipe below for both, to purchase the seasoning and for the flour mixture. And I dusted them and I let them sit for 2 to 3 minutes just to make sure that the flour mix adheres to the potatoes well. So when they deep fry, they come out a lot crispier. You see right there, I'm just making sure they're all apart and, seasoned and dusted with flour. Make sure that your fryer is on 325 or 350 degrees, preheated. And while that's happening, you can kind of make sure it's all dusted. Make sure your flour is on every piece, and then make sure your fryer is nice and hot. I got a little flour everywhere, but everything's okay. My fryer was on. So I dipped a few pieces to make sure it was hot, and then from there I placed the rest of them in. You can do it any way. You can put all of them in the basket and then drop them, but I kind of just always like to make sure that mine are kind of floating and make sure they're not sticking to the bottom. That's why I shake it so much, to make sure they're not stuck together and make sure that they don't stick to the bottom of the basket. It is very important that your fryer is up to the right temperature. Otherwise, they will not cook properly. And while they're in there, they will soak up oil instead of frying and creating the crispiness on the potatoes. I am definitely excited to kind of let you guys see this method of me making crispy potatoes. Once they're done, I take them out of a pan. I season them with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and some chopped parsley. And then I place them to the side so I can get ready to make the green beans. Now, as we get ready for the green beans, I have some green beans already cleaned and picked. And I have my fry skillet on. And I had dropped a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Then I added some sliced white onion. And I added some sliced garlic. Make sure I can move that around. And then I also kind of keep chicken stock on deck. So anytime I need to use it, I have it, whether it's a bouillon cube or whether it's actual chicken stock from something I've made earlier that week. So next I'll add just a tad bit oil, and then next after that I'll add some chicken stock. I season everything, and while we're waiting for this to kind of come to a boil, make sure you make your purchase on chefmarcee.com. You can purchase all the seasoning blends, and also my cutting boards are up there too. If you check out my little monogrammed cutting boards right there, so they're up on the website too. I place the green beans in and make sure they're all kind of getting all mixed in with the chicken stock and the seasoning that's already there. I season the green beans now. That's just a little bit of my OG blend that I like to call it. It is salt, pepper, garlic powder, and garlic oil. I literally put that in every single thing that I make. So I let the green beans kind of simmer for a minute. I mix them around. And if you notice, I added my citrus mojito blend to the green beans too, the same way I did with the potatoes. Make sure they're all mixed around and everybody's getting cooked. I let them simmer for another 4 or 5 minutes. I don't like my green beans really mushy, but I don't like them really crunchy either. I'm sorry, crunchy. I like that little blend where they still have a little bit of texture. I place them in my serving bowl, and then I put a little bit of the juice that's left in the pan, so that chicken stock and the seasoning, all that goodness, especially if you're going to eat this with like a dinner roll or a biscuit or something, that juice is really good. I pour the juice over them, and then I add the crispy potatoes on top. So I add the potatoes after the juice, just because I don't want the crispy potatoes to get soggy. I make sure all that goodness in there, the seasonings, the onions, the garlic, the chicken stock, And now I place the crispy potatoes on top. And I garnish with a little bit more olive oil and a little bit more chopped parsley. And if they do not taste as seasoned as you would like, you can always add a little bit more season to the top. But just be careful because you know the chicken base or the bouillon has salt in it too. So if you notice, I haven't added any extra salt outside of the green beans. So, you know, you see that goodness, you see that flavor, you see those seasonings, because I like to see my seasonings too. And it came out really, really good. My husband and I enjoyed them a lot. I make those potatoes for breakfast too. When I make breakfast crispy potatoes too, I use that same recipe and same method. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be happy to see you guys again. Make sure you visit my website, chefmarcee.com, and also follow me on my other platforms, chefmarcee.com on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you guys, and see you next time.